If you want playoff baseball, you better play like it's playoff baseball. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Phightins Phinal here on the Edge of Philly Sports with your boy Matty B and Big Al sitting in with me tonight. Al, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Matthew.
Yeah, it was a better evening last night around this time. But listen, we talked about it last night on the show. It was DeGrom, and if you want to beat the best, you got to beat the best. And he was dealing tonight. And Nola was Nola. Nola was okay. I'll take what Nola gave us tonight.
I
But
think
once again, he
Nola
did
was
not
better
count
than
well.
okay. I'm gonna give better than okay. I mean, he had a rough first couple innings, but
He settled.
he better, way better. I mean, he won 8 innings. He let up 1 run. What more can you? 4 hits over that whole time.
Yeah.
What could you ask for more than that? I know a couple guys in our internal chat were, after the 1 run let up, oh, here's the typical Nola late August implosion. But he did not implode. He even the best guys give up a run or two. I mean, if anybody remembers watching Roy Halladay pitch and Cliff Lee, didn't Cliff Lee give up more runs in the first inning than he did in all the other innings combined? I think
Yeah.
it was him. Yeah. I mean, it's not unheard of to have great pitchers. They're getting themselves started. They're feeling out the batters, just like the batters are feeling out the pitchers. You know what I mean? So, this team could have, unfortunately couldn't get any production. Aaron Nola's kind of been haunted by that all season long. But also, it doesn't help the fact they're going up against a healthy Jacob DeGrom.
Yeah, and I was never prepared to give DeGrom the props that I'm about to give him, but when he's healthy, I don't really know of any pitcher right now in the game that's better than him. And that's just a solid fact. It's not a good fact, but it's a solid, correct fact.
He averages 99 miles per hour fastball. Average. It's not like his top speed. It's an average. I mean, that's a tall order right there, my friend. And going 6 innings against that. What up, Sean?
So Sean hits up. What's up, Matty and Al? Damn you, Nick Castellanos. Do you want to take that, Al, or should I? Do you want to take that one?
Yeah, I'll take it. No problem. I'm not gonna damn you, Nick Castellanos. I'm not damn any of them. I mean, none of them scored. Let's just throw that out there. They made a little bit of It gave us a little bit of that false hope we hate at the end of the game. Diaz is a good closer. When he's on, but he wasn't great tonight. He was just good enough. And that final pitch that struck out Nick was borderline the perfect pitch to throw in that situation. So I'm not damning Nick Castellanos in this situation. A couple guys swung at balls that he threw. The guy was throwing outside, way outside a lot. I mean, he spiked a couple balls in the dirt. There was always that possibility, but he threw the perfect pitch to strike out Nick and finish the game, and that came from, that bottom corner, man. It could have, looking at it on the screen and with the box and all that, it looked like it would have been a ball, but doesn't mean, as we've seen, the ump would have called that. It was very borderline.
Yeah, and you mentioned the others not doing their part. I mean, this was the 9th inning. Where was everybody the other 8 innings? Yeah, I got it. It was very disheartening to see the Phillies get something going, and then once again it gets snuffed out. But
I feel like this team was waiting to get past DeGrom. Like, they were really just waiting to get past him. Like, I don't feel like they were. I mean, not that they weren't trying. And listen, it's overwhelming when you're seeing 99 miles per hour, 98 and above most of the game. That's hard. That's a hard thing to even adjust to. But it's. What I'm saying is the team didn't produce. This is one thing where you're seeing some of the youngsters come up big, like Stott. He came up big. I mean, still one of the better hitters tonight. But also at the same time, the last couple games, Derek Hall looks like a deer in headlights. This playoff atmosphere it's kind of, you're kind of seeing it in its glory with a guy who has little experience at this point.
I mentioned this last night on the show. He just looked really overmatched against Scherzer, and things weren't much improved tonight. It kind of does pose the question going forward when Bryce Harper does come back, who's the last man standing? And because someone's going to have to go down. Is Derek Hall that guy? Is this moment not? Is he not ready for this moment yet? Al, do you think in October?
I think if he is ready, that's just a huge plus. But having a guy who came in end of June, early July, literally to take over for literally the current reigning MVP and a person who was putting an MVP caliber number 2 run on this league. That's a tall order, and he's done well when called upon for the most part. But this has been the biggest test for this entire team for the most part this season. I mean, this since they've been on this run. Not like they haven't played good teams, but this is playoff atmosphere. I felt
Yeah,
like that. I felt like I was at a playoff game. Like I had
every
that
pitch.
same, yeah, every pitch I had the same hairs or on the back of my neck, not so much my head, moving. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I saw that and I felt that, and like I said, it's real. I'm not trying to give them an excuse out, but Jacob DeGrom was on. Their bullpen did their job. Diaz is a very good closer. The fact that they got as close as they did was luckily because he was not perfect. If he was pitching like we know he could have been, that would have been 1, 2, 3, or could have been. I should said. I mean, but like you said, coming into it, to be the best, you have to beat the best. But that's why baseball does things in series because you're not going to always every game isn't going to be the best.
No, and a couple of things of concern continued to kind of trend for the Phillies in 2022. The Phillies tonight struck out again multiple times for the game. 14 times the Phillies struck out, and now they have now eclipsed 1,000 team strikeouts for 2022. The Phillies have struck out 1,010 times as a team thus far through 113 games now
Hmm.
of the season. Is that something that concerns you heading into the stretch run of the season?
No, not as much as probably most people would make a big deal out of it. I just you have two different teams we've looked at. You draw the line in that sand from before Rob Thompson, to Joe Girardi to Rob Thompson. It's almost like two different seasons, two different teams. Like I'm watching a whole new season going right now. So, and a lot of
Right.
that came from them. They were there was no power behind the bats. The only people who were producing were Gene Segura and Bryce Harper for the most part during that time frame. Um, and they're out now. So the fact that you're in there, you're starting to see Nick come alive a little bit. Unfortunately, not enough tonight. JT is disciplined at the plate. He's doing well. You're not throwing up in the back of your mouth when he comes up. Reese Hoskins has cooled off a little bit for my taste, but this is
A
this
lot of
is
it.
this is streaky Reese. This is what we
Yeah.
we
You
know him
can't
to
have that
be.
though.
We know him to be, but we know when his streaks can go cold, it can be cold for a little while. I mean, Alec Boehm, he was 0 for 4 tonight. Um, so I mean, D- Jacob Degrom did what Jacob Degrom was supposed to do. He was supposed to overwhelm them, and if he was healthy, it would have probably been a lot less of a chance for them. I mean, he could have probably won. I think they took him out. It was like 80, 85 pitches, right? I mean,
Yep. 85.
yeah, yeah. So he could have kept going. I mean, even me, I'm sitting there watching this game with my wife. My wife goes, "If they tie this game up, do they or whatever? Do they bring Aaron Nola back?" I'm like, "Probably not. If they tie, maybe, but I doubt it." And I said, "But if they're going for the close, they'll bring in Sir Anthony." But my point is the t- Aaron Nola did well. Anybody who's bashing Aaron Nola, kiss my ass right about now because he did a great job. We like to see what we saw from him. Um, it's just the ground overwhelmed the Phillies and they just couldn't produce.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. And actually, DeGrom's final count for the night was 76 pitches, so it's kind of on the low side, which is, he was dealing. The Phillies weren't unable to get any kind of counts going. I mean, they got the Scherzer. To me, is nothing like DeGrom. The Phillies got the Scherzer right off the bat yesterday, but I knew this game was different. Right,
Hmm.
going into the third inning when it was just like 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out. 1, 2.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just mowing them down. No
Well,
sustained counts.
well, Scherzer, in my eyes, before even when he was with the Nationals, the Phillies always seemed to hit him. They
Yeah,
what made Scherzer better. Degrom is getting. You're not getting anywhere with him. The fact that he had only 76 and he struck out as many as he did, it's kind of a kudos to Jacob Degrom, unfortunately. Um, but you know, when we played against Scherzer at any time, like he wouldn't always just. It wasn't 1, 2, 3 innings a lot with him. It was just we weren't able to string hits together. That's what makes Scherzer good. He's able to calm himself down and get out of jams. Jacob Degrom, he's going to just light you up. He is just going to make it's going to be hard for you to see that ball coming until it's too late, and then you're swinging behind him.
On the positive tip, we may not see Scherzer or DeGrom next weekend when the Mets are back in town, or maybe Scherzer on Sunday potentially. I
Yeah.
don't know. But, hopefully that works out for us. The fish hobbyist hits me with DeGrom is what he is probably when healthy, the greatest pitcher we've seen. Yeah, so far this season, probably. Maybe him and Alcantara. I'll put them in the same atmosphere because Alcantara was another one who just frustrated the hell out of our batters and just went right through them. No kind of battle, just domination. So I'll give him that.
Yeah, but Alcantara, we figured him out. Like DeGrom, I don't think we've ever figured DeGrom out really. I mean, I think there was one game I could think of where the Phillies, but I think it's just DeGrom wasn't healthy at that time. Just kind of like the fish hobbyist said here, like he wasn't good that day. But when DeGrom's healthy, pound for pound, probably top pitcher in the league.
Yeah, no, I agree. And now, of course, I want to get it from the side. That's fine. When the trumpets play, I got you. All right. Yeah. I mean, he's lights out, but he's not. I want
to remind you guys, the Phillies, probably most teams, have hit up Diaz and got Diaz frustrated a lot. So that game, he'd be tooting a different trumpet if he threw a ball in the dirt. Because that's what could have happened. That could have not came down to the Phillies hitting. That could have came down to Diaz throwing something in the dirt. So yeah, it's easy to pound your chest now, but as we were last night. So Chris, Cass, take your bow, do your thing. You can have it today, but tomorrow is going to be a big Sunday afternoon game because it is for the series and momentum for this team.
So when you're involved in a series that has seen literally 4 runs per team, or no, what? 2, 3, yeah, 2 and 2 runs, right? Phillies scored 2 last night. Mets scored 1. Mets scored 1. So 2 runs per team. There's nobody dominating nobody in this. This is a very this is a series between 2 teams that seem to be kind of on the same level. As much as that might disturb some New York Met fans, but I don't see no domination at all. I mean, this is between 2 very good baseball teams. It ain't like DeGrom put it to the Phillies and beat them 8-0. I mean, they won 1-0, man. Come on, I'm not gonna give them all that,
Yeah, no, and our boy here he goes. I saw that pop up. I don't know how good Jason DeGrom was, but Jacob DeGrom was lights out tonight. Yes, I will give. Maybe Jason DeGrom is his buddy from school. I don't know, but Jacob DeGrom he was lights out tonight, and the Phillies had no answer for him. I'm just going to put it out. They did not,
and bring it on. I can dish. I can take it as much as I can dish it out. Al, let's go over the line real quick. It's going to be a fast one.
I'm not going to take away. They won, and this was what a playoff game looks like. Little scoring run, made, and it's all in the defense. And by the way, let's not take away from once again. I think Keith Hernandez stepped in it a little bit when he said something. How about that bunt that turned into a double play? That was huge.
That was game altering for the Phillies. It kept them around. Beautiful play. But then, of course, we did have an error tonight. JT throwing error, but it is what it is. For the line tonight, Phillies no runs on 3 hits, and they did commit that 1 error on the throwing error by JT. Mets 1 run, 4 hits. How the scoring went down? It went down in the very earliest part they can go down in the bottom of the first inning. Pete Alonso would knock in Sterling Marte, and that is all that was required for the Mets tonight as DeGrom was dealing, and so was Nola. Offensively for the Phillies, Bryson Stott 1 for 4. Second night in the leadoff role. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about this, and I want to bring it up to you right now, Al. How do you liking Bryson in the leadoff spot? Is that something you might want to see continuing on when things kind of regulate with the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a catch-22 when you bring back Schwarber, who looked good by the way pregame. I don't know if you saw him moving around. Yeah. He was really moving around. He had the sleeve on his calf, but he was moving around. He looked good, but it's like, do you change the secret sauce just because a couple games he wasn't in? I don't know, but if Bryson Stott keeps playing like he does, why not? I mean, if you could do that and then have him in the 3 or 4 or 5 spot, producing, could be big, could be huge for us.
Yeah, it gets us closer to that traditional leadoff role. Reese was 1 for 3 with a walk. Swung a little bit better, but not much better. Bohm 0 for 4. JT 0 for 3. Did have a stolen base and a walk there at the end of the game. Nick Castellanos 1 for 4. Derek Hall 0 for 3. Brandon Marsh 0 for 3. Nick Maton 0 for 3. And the 0 4s continue on. On the Mets side, offensively, I guess Pete Alonso gets the honors tonight. 1 for 3 with an RBI. And that was pretty much all the offense required. On pitching, DeGrom 6 strong, 2 hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, and he struck out 10. Lugo, May, and Diaz came on and finished it up for the Mets. For the Phillies, Nola 8 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He did walk 1, and he struck out 8. Nola falls to 8-9. DeGrom goes to 2-0, and there you have it, Al. 1-0. Phillies go back to being 10.5 games out of first place. And tomorrow at Citi Field, as you mentioned already, we're going to get this thing wrapped up. Zach Wheeler will get the nod tomorrow, and he'll be opposed by Chris Bassett. Wheeler 11-5, 2.63 ERA, and Bassett 9-7, 3.39 ERA. But Bassett looked very good his last time out against the Braves.
Yes, he did. And it's always like when the guy they should beat, they don't. That's my thing. Is like I can understand people getting upset with this game tonight if this is like their 5th guy and he lights us up like that. Thank you, Linda. Can you send that to my wife? I always like to hear a woman say, "You're right, Al." I don't hear it very often. It wasn't a bad game. It was actually a really fun game to watch. It would only been. Yeah, it would have been only better if they won. That's the only way this would have been better for me. So yes,
Wheeler, I hope tomorrow wheels and deals those vets. I'm sorry, Mets. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, Sean. God, I feel you. It's like losing to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it's not fun. But like I said, I'm not as angry as I think I would normally be because they took that first game the way they did. They stuck with it. The team doesn't have quit in them, and I like that. That's why I get that very 08, 09 team feeling from them. The Mets smell themselves too much. I mean, listen, they put themselves in a very good position in the division and in the league to get that first round bye, to do all that stuff. But that's usually the telltale of when things start to fall apart. So
yeah, and with the loss today, the Phillies have officially lost the season series to the Mets. The best the Phillies can do is go 10-9, or 9-10, I guess, against the Mets.
Yeah.
So that's disheartening a little bit, but I'm still not giving up on the division. I still think they're going to win it. I still think the Phillies win this division. And Serdar hits us up with that's why the Mets will be the team to beat in the playoffs. So are you going to pitch him every other day? Is that what the plan is out there, Serdar? Are you going to pitch Scherzer game 1, DeGrom game 2, Scherzer game 3? Because that's not going to work much past the first round. If that's the plan.
Can I point something out there, Serdar? Your team, except for the first inning, didn't do anything, and our guy went the entire game.
Nope.
So let that sink in for a second. So don't get ahead of yourself. Because that could have been real simply the other way around for you. It could have been. So don't be smelling yourself. And any of you guys on YouTube, or if you're on Facebook and YouTube, pop over and smash that like button, follow button. It helps us out big time and helps us bring more of these great post-game moments, even when they lose, for you. Hey, Al, that cheesesteak, yes. I was with Dave last night, and I was eating a cheesesteak while watching the game. Like, I don't know why this cheesesteak tastes so much better when the Phillies win. But, yes, Dave, it did taste better last night.
Jeez. Little window into your personal life, man. I like that, Dave.
Yeah.
Good job, man. Way to bring it, Dave.
Yeah, real personal. Real shocking. I eat a cheesesteak.
Fish Hobbyist, did you see the Mets schedule in September? Yeah, they're going to get the same thing the Phillies got in April, except they're going to deal with it in September. No, that's a very known point, Fish Hobbyist. This thing is not over by a long stretch of the imagination. We have way too much baseball to get kind of spun up around the axle about this, but tomorrow is going to go a big way into kind of setting things up, and then next weekend, man. Oh, I've not looked forward to a series at Citizen Bank Park like in a long time. I want to know where I'm
hoping a refill of what happened last August when we swept the Mets. It would be great. I'm getting ready. I know I'm going to Sunday's game. Me and you'll be together for Friday's game. I might even hit up one of the Saturday games. I even told my wife, I said, you may not see me at all weekend. I'm just going to go.
So for those of you who were wondering, yeah, I'll be at the doubleheader on Saturday. I'll be at both. Thinking about doing Sunday as well. I'm not really sure, but if I survive Saturdays, maybe we'll reassess that in the morning. But I will be at both games on Saturday, so I'm looking forward to next weekend. So, and as I said, we'll be watching the game Friday night together. So it should be a good series. It really should be.
Yeah.
So game 3. Yeah, okay. You send Carrasco out all you want. If you play the Phillies game 3, Tyler McGill. Okay, well, bring on Tyler McGill. Bring on Chris Bassett. I mean, you honestly think Tyler McGill's better than Wheeler or Suarez went toe to toe with Suarez or Scherzer last night and beat him out. I mean, come on, man.
And let me just like remind the Mets fans like right now, but as we worry about the Nola, late summer, right, late August or early September implosion, you guys have to worry about every day if you're going to wake up and get news that DeGrom's shut down again.
Yeah.
So before you start counting your DeGrom wins in the playoffs, let's just get there first and let's find out where it takes you.
I agree. That's could not have
I
said it
mean,
better myself.
Listen, like I said, bring it on. Puff your chest out, feel good. This is what makes this fun again because I'm gonna be honest. For a very long time, and I still remember 08, 07, 08, 09, 10, and even a little bit into 11. We dominated this division, and we didn't have. I never had these feelings against the Mets and the Marlins or the Braves. The Braves usually would have gave us more fits than any of the other teams. I at this point I'm not afraid of anybody right now, and it's not just I'm being a cocky a-hole Phillies fan because they've been on a decent run. I'm feeling it because this team just doesn't have that quit. Even at the end of this game, DeGrom's lighting them up. They could have just went out, swung 1, 2, 3. I mean, and it kind of looked like that at points. They could have done that, but they stayed into the end. And yes, the swing and miss. It was a good. It was a good pitch to throw in that moment. You couldn't have placed that ball any better at that point.
No, and that's it's and this is what playoff baseball is. Every pitch counts, every inning counts, and they got
who said that? Fish hobbyist fish.
Yes.
I'll tell you right now, bro. I count out nobody. Maybe that's what makes this fun for me again. I see guys. I see our Mets fans in here, pounding their chest, and that's fine. And when you're on top, you're number one, and you're the team to beat. Because right now, when you're in first place, you're usually the team to beat, right? So you can pound your chest, and I get it. But I also, at the same time, I want to I like it. There's like kind of that dog mentality we saw like from the 2017 Eagles. I don't look past anybody. I don't think anything's a cookie. I don't think anything's a give me. And that's what I think makes this team good. They know at any moment in time. They played the Nationals like that. They could have just zombie walked through the whole National Series, knowing how bad after the first game or two. I was at that first game. That team is lifeless.
Yeah, I know you were.
Yeah. I think I did a post game that night. I was pretty sure I
did a post game that night, all right. Even if you don't remember it.
I kind of vaguely remember doing a post game. Dave will tell you last time he saw me, I was a little beat up last night as well, but enjoying these wins. But my point is like they could have zombie walked through and faltered. Like kind of we saw a little bit in the Chicago series. Like they have the Reds coming up next series. I'm not looking past them. I'm not looking past anyone. But I'll tell you what I am looking forward to is every game, every pitch. That's what makes Phillies baseball fun right now. And I talk to people like somebody said the other day to me, goes, "Ah, man, Al, I like when the Phillies win. I can't go to a game. It's 3 hours long. I'm hot. I can't do it." I said, "Man, everything. I feel so much better watching a good Phillies game. It's not like I said." And that's what I'm getting right now. I'm getting a team that's got fight. I got a team that can produce almost up and down the lineup. And yeah, we're kind of banging on Hoskins right now. But at any moment in time, he can get hot. And that when he's hot, it's scary. And hopefully we start to see Bryce back soon. I'm thinking September.
Yeah, me too. And I don't think he's actually going to start rounding in the form until October, which is okay by me. That's when I really need him to be hitting anyway.
And if they do the same thing they're doing with Segura, he plays a couple games, he gets a day off, plays a few extra games, gets a day off because that's what they did. I think they said he played 3, then he had a day off, then he played 4 more, and today was a scheduled day off for him.
So Serdar says, "Cut me a break. I rooted for the Phillies in '09, where else was like they were the Mets." So here's the thing, and I'm not going to like talk about your fandoms, Serdar, but I would never root for anybody but the Phillies like they were the Phillies ever.
No, no, no.
That's
I
not
would
how
I
it
would tell
works.
you right now, if the Mets are in the World Series, I don't care who they're playing. I'm team whatever, whoever's playing the Mets.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I could never root for Dallas. I could
Yeah.
never root for. I mean, listen. There's like times where you need a team in your division to win. Like the Giants are playing Dallas, and Giants suck, and Dallas are, we're neck and neck. Yeah, I need the Giants to win, so I'm rooting for them to win that game. But yeah, no, if it's a non consequence situation for me, I could not root for anybody. I would rather be lit on fire than root for the Mets at this point.
Absolutely. And Joseph hits me up with tough loss tonight, but I feel confident Wheeler going tomorrow. Cardinals lost in 10 with Hernandez in St. Louis. Let's take a look around Major League Baseball real quick. Al, with me, kind of get an update. The Fernando Tatis lists, at least for the next, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 months, San Diego
Hmm.
Padres, as Tatis was suspended for 80 games for violation of PEDs. They're losing right now in the top in the ninth inning to the Nationals 4-3. The Giants and Pirates are kind of just underway. They're in the fifth inning out in San Francisco. The Giants are up 2-0. And the Braves did defeat the Marlins there earlier tonight, so not looking good there. We're going to lose some ground on the Braves. And earlier in the day, the Braves beat the Marlins in the game one of their doubleheader. So really not a good night. Lost a game and a half to the Braves, and the Brewers defeated the Cardinals in 10 innings tonight. So not a real good productive night, and we didn't get really much any help around the league tonight. So you got
I
to
mean, I
handle
didn't,
your own
I
business.
didn't, I
So
didn't expect the Marlins to help us out at all.
yeah.
The Marlins are pretty lifeless, as almost as lifeless as the Nats are right now. I mean, I don't know how about disappointing the news is for you, but
No.
I mean, it's. I have to imagine as the Padres organization and as a fan. I mean, the Padres are one of the few teams that have not won a World Series. Correct? Am I
What,
correct
the
when I'm?
Padres have never won a World Series? Yeah, no, they've never had one.
Yeah, never won a World Series.
They've been
So
in two.
yeah, so they went all in. I mean, they shoved their chips in at the deadline. Got a guy like Juan Soto, Josh Bell. They also went and got Hader from Milwaukee, which still I feel like Milwaukee. Some came up with Milwaukee and said, "Heh," you know. Like Milwaukee, like threw the towel in like way early. They just didn't. It's like they're like, "Nah, I don't think we're that good, even though we're in
Yeah.
it. We're not that good."
I don't know why you I don't know why they traded Hater. I really don't.
I, you'd be like us trading Sir Anthony right now, or trading
Yeah.
Robertson right now. Like you're going to trade your two best bullpen pieces. I couldn't imagine that. God, Linda, keep saying it. Bring it on, Al. You're right. I like it. Yeah, no, I never could root Dallas. Nope. Nobody in the divisions, but especially Dallas, especially the Mets, especially the Penguins, cannot do it with them. Boston, I could, ugh, I just got like vomited a little bit when I said Boston. But yeah, I mean, looking at I'm like looking at the wild card standings, and we're tied technically. I think we're one notch above San Diego right now,
Yeah.
like 1/100th of a point. But Milwaukee's right now 1.5 games behind us. So I just don't understand that move. But yeah, I mean, San Diego has got to be deflated because I mean, Fernando Tatis, that's not just a big piece. That's like one of the big piece. If the big piece, maybe if you say Machado is a little bit bigger.
Well, I was concerned about that. The whole accident, the motorcycle thing. I didn't know. I mean, he tore his wrist apart, and who knows what kind of Fernando Tatis they're going to get back. And apparently, that's what he came up positive on the PEDs. He was using something that was helping the healing process, and that's apparently a violation. Whatever that drug was a
They
violation
got
of the.
they got to be real careful. They don't know how many times guys got banged because try this, it really helps, and it's not on the
Yeah,
ban list. Well, the medicine or the pills or the vitamin, whatever the things that they're taking aren't on the ban list, but it's the ingredients. Like you literally need to take it to the league and say, "Can I take this?"
yeah,
Because here's my thing: is what like if you're a baseball player, like when you hear them go, "I didn't know what's in it." Well, ignorance isn't an answer in my eyes. And if you're given something that's going to help, wouldn't the first thing you do is bring that to your manager or somebody one of the doctors in your team and say, hey, listen, is this something I could take? Can you break this down for me? And that way, they can jot down what you take, and even if they're wrong, at least they can say. Then you can plead ignorance. I feel I have to feel they have to know what's going. He had to know what's going on.
Oh, I'm sure he did. All right, Al. So let's take a look at this thing kind of holistically. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, we're going to wrap the series up. 1:40 start at Citizen Bank or Citizen City. Got a week ahead of myself. City Field. Zach Wheeler and Chris Bassett. Then the Phillies are off to Cincinnati for 3, and then home for the Mets for 4. Cincinnati. Atlanta heads to Atlanta for 4. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Let's kind of play. I know we're taking this one step at a time, but I want to play a little game. It's Friday morning, August the 19th, next Friday morning.
Okay.
How many games are the Phillies out of first place as the Mets arrive in town? We're 10.5 right now.
10.5. I mean, the Braves. I'm not like who said it earlier. Someone says, the fish hobbyist said, "Don't look past the Braves." The Braves, they're keeping their head above water, but they also are not like blowing me away either. So, but we just took on the 2 better pitchers. So, damn, it's a good question, man. This can go so either way. I mean, if you're asking me, like, all right, if we win tomorrow, okay, we take the series of both this and we win 2 out of 3 with the Reds. How far are we out? There's a likely chance. There's a good chance that we're like 5, 6.5 games out.
Really? You expect that much help from the Braves?
It's possible. It's possible. I mean, the fact that we just took on DeGrom and Scherzer, that means they're not going to see them, right?
So DeGrom pitched tonight. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
No,
they would see DeGrom and Scherzer on the back end of the series, games 3 and 4.
Will they?
Yeah,
are they playing three or 4 games?
They're playing 4 Monday through Thursday.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 3 games. Okay. Then they are going to say. I thought it would just be Scherzer.
Now, would you not pitch them in that series or hold them off to the Phillies? I mean, how do you think they work that? Because there is a doubleheader coming up, and that's also going to come into the Phillies' decisions to pitch players. I'm an advocate of having a bullpen game on the 17th in order to set up Nola and Wheeler in the doubleheader. But I don't know if we've reached that point of the season yet. But do the Mets think that way? Do they try to think out to that doubleheader?
I wouldn't. I mean, that's a defeatist attitude in their eyes. I mean, listen, you got a nice lead on the division right now. You play the Braves better because technically the Braves are ahead of us right now, right? So if anything, they should be looking at the Braves more than they should be looking at the Phillies. Right now, the Phillies are just hot, but you still got to worry about that. So I don't think you listen. Baseball players are creatures of habit. Athletes are creatures of habit. I don't think you break that up. I mean, if the Phillies did a bullpen game, I wouldn't do that. I would rather see them bring somebody up from the minors to pitch that one game. You know what I mean?
So, okay, you're saying you'd rather see the Phillies put somebody up in the minors to pitch the game on the 17th, so you have Nola and Wheeler available on the doubleheader on the 20th.
Well, I say that, but we saw how Nola and Wheeler did with 6 games. Like, look how Nola looked when he came back from the All-Star break because he had that extra day. Yeah. That extra day of rest. They're creatures of habit. You know what, man? Leave it alone. Let's not play with things. Let's not tear things down. Just let it be.
So the way it would look now, and again, I'm just kind of looking at because I'm not looking ahead. The way it would look now would be Wheeler tomorrow, Syndergaard, Gibson, and Suarez in Cincinnati.
Okay,
and then
which is a good lineup for us.
Wheeler on the 19th on Friday, and then you could probably go Nola, Syndergaard on the doubleheader day.
Yeah, and they didn't get to see Syndergaard in New York this weekend, so
yeah.
I like that. Just go with it. Just leave it alone and let it roll. That's how I look at it. Let it be. There's no reason to tinker right now. I mean,
to say my point though is traditionally the Phillies in this situation would go to a bullpen game for at least one of those games or a doubleheader.
Joe Girardi would. I don't know. Rob Thompson would.
Well, he did it earlier this season. What was the game? The Washington series?
No, what? It wasn't that. Wasn't it coming out of the All-Star break?
Well, we did it. We haven't had a doubleheader
It was
since the
after
five
it was the
games.
trade deadline. It was after the trade deadline. They did it was right before the game before Syndergaard first threw. They did that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it was the day after the trade, day of the end of the trade deadline, or the day after, whatever it was. It was the game right before Syndergaard's first game as a Philly. They did do that, and that was because they didn't have a guy because Zach Eflin was down and didn't wasn't somebody was on bereavement. Wasn't Kyle? Somebody was on bereavement. I forget who it
Kyle
was.
Gibson's grandmother died.
Yeah, so that's why that happened. It wasn't. I don't think there was something they wanted to do. Gives me the chills, Linda. I think I'm in love.
Sean's telling us that the drug Tatis was using was for a ringworm. Okay. Maybe in Tijuana it was.
Yeah, like that's my thing. Phil's just lost 2 out of 3. How are they hot?
No, come, Dave.
Dave.
Al, this
oh
is
my
one
God.
of our own people, Al. One
And
of our own.
And he's a Phillies fan. Like I don't understand. Like he's a Dave. You gotta be Davey Downer over here. Here's my thing is Dave. This is my thing about baseball. You got to look at bigger sample sizes, okay? You're looking at the last 3 games. Yes, they lost the game to the Fish. But if you want to look at you got to look at the whole thing. They just who were they playing right before Marlins? They played the Nats. They swept the Nats. They won the series against the Marlins, but unfortunately lost one. They won last night's game and they lost this game. So yeah, in the last 3 games they lost 2 out of 3. But overall, they're winning series. They just swept another series. How can you even say that right now? I mean, yes,
Yeah.
Dave, it's baseball. You know this. You play baseball. You play softball. And you're sitting there, counting the game that they went 3-0 against the Marlins. Yes, they will go. Those kind of games will happen in baseball. It's 162 goddamn games. It's gonna happen.
Another number to throw out: the Phillies have been playing. Tomorrow will be the 12th straight game they've played against the NL East, and so far they are 8-3 in that stretch. So 8-3 in the last 11 games against the NL East. So
Yeah, Linda, tell them.
I'm not going there either.
Linda,
Dave's got to go.
I love you, Linda. Tell them.
And stop talking about that fire Howie nonsense too, Dave. It's getting old, man. We got it. You don't like Howie.
Did they send you a picture of your new office at the studio?
Yeah, they did. I appreciate it.
Yeah. But Dave, I mean, Dave, there is, and Dave's not the only people. So Dave, I'm not picking on you, but I want to ask you as a person who, to me, seems kind of still down on this team. Like you're not buying the Kool-Aid right now, like the rest of us are buying right now, and which is fair, which is fine.
I'm bathing in it.
Yeah, I mean that's very fair. There's nothing wrong with not, because this team has let us down at these times. So, but why not enjoy the moment? And I feel like you're not enjoying the moment. You're hurting yourself, bro. Like I feel like I should have a couch right next to me and like ask you your personal life questions. Like I really feel like you're not enjoying this. Enjoy it. Yes, in the last 3 games, they're 2-1. Okay, or 1-2. All right, I get it. But get that slider and slide a little further. When was the last time they lost a series? Except for Chicago, which was okay. That was a crap moment, but that was like the worst moment they've had under Rob Thompson. Like, but other than that, they are destroying the teams they're supposed to destroy. They're beating the teams they're supposed to beat, and they're putting up a hell of a goddamn fight. I understand why people this is baseball. You're not going to win them all. That doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So enjoy it. You beat the Marlins. You beat a couple series now. You swept them once. You won a series. We always complain when we play the Marlins. We look like crap. What's going on? They beat that. They check. Remember I was telling you, Matty B, about the check boxes? There's check boxes that make me feel better about this team. Number 1, beating the bad teams. Check. All right? So they beat the Nationals. Check. Beating teams that always gave us fits. Atlanta. Boom. It was a 2-game series. We split it, but we're fighting against them. The Marlins. Check. We're checking the boxes. The team is playing excellent defense right now. We literally were calling this the blow pen just a couple months ago, 6 weeks ago. Like we were ready to sell this team in pieces. Even Harper, get rid of them all, start fresh. Like this is how we were. We were so let down because we were so high coming into this season when they brought in the likes of Castellanos and Schwarber and adding them to the team and all that stuff. Then Harper goes down, and Gene goes down, and Girardi just seems to have no idea of what he's doing. Like he's never done this before. Um, and then Rob Thompson steps in, and it's just been going uphill from here. Guys, I get why you're like, all right, in the beginning when Rob Thompson take over and they went on like that 10-game winning streak and all that stuff, and you're like, oh, the shoe's gonna drop, the shoe's gonna drop. Okay, I get that. But we've been saying the shoe's gonna drop since June. It's late August. Okay? Just forget about the goddamn shoe and enjoy it.
I echo those sentiments, Al. I am going to enjoy it, and as I said, there's a lot of baseball left to go. But to kind of go along with what Dave is saying, well, maybe not so much along with what Dave was saying, but Phillies have now not hit a home run in 4 straight games. Al, that's not happened at all this season. And I got it. We're down Schwarber now, but 4 straight games with no home runs. I can't believe I'm saying this, or I'm concerned that they're not hitting enough home runs.
Listen, if they're just hitting home runs, then we're going to say, well, they can't live by the home run. It's the same thing as Dave said. It's a little slider, a little 4 games. Look at all the other games. I mean, you got a guy who's batting like what 215, but he's like he's second in running for the league in home runs.
He's batting 204. Not you're giving him way too many.
I give him 8 points. My point is, you just went against Scherzer. You just went against DeGrom in 2 of those 4 games. Yeah, they haven't hit a home run. And Contra. So, like, literally 3 top pitchers in the National League right now. Could you easily say that? The top 3 pitchers easily. Definitely in the top 5, but at least could even be the top 3 pitchers in the National League. And they didn't hit a home run. I'm not going to lose sleep over that. So, no. Obviously, no. My answer is no.
Okay, Al. We've had fun tonight, but let's change gears a little bit. For those of you who are wondering, who are we and what we're doing? Well, we're from the Edge of Philly Sports Network, and this is everything we can bring to the table. We are chock full with great sports content all week long. This list is actually larger, but we were instructed not to go over it show by show unless it's the day of. That was coming from the CEO. Al, do you know who that guy is? I never met him before.
Nah, but I hear it's a real J.O.
Mondays is the Broad Street Bully Talking Flyer podcast. Mondays at 6 p.m. You can catch the Sully Squad from Devereaux Sports. Tuesdays at 9, it's me, Matty B, talking Philly sports. Oh, what'd you do?
Sorry, I hit the button. Sorry. Didn't mean to hit that.
Wednesdays at 7 is the Philly Press Box Radio. They had Kevin Riley on this week. And then Wednesdays is the flagship show with Big Al and Joey Sharon, EOP Live. And back where he belongs, the benevolent, misinformed, delusional, but yet really a fun guy, Kyle Quinn in the Birds IQ podcast, Thursdays at 7. And then the Attack at Third with Austin Hamill and Gus Seminaro. Saturday mornings at 9, have some breakfast with the boys on Patterson Ave Fanatics, and then the Gobbler Incorporated. Tomorrow we'll have John Bartram on it Sunday at 9, and then the All Lacrosse Philly and Beyond lacrosse show Sundays at 9 p.m. To kind of just highlight a growing network every day. And if you're having a good time in life, but then all of a sudden you're not, this is the man you need to call, David R. Cherry. 610-565-0300 for all your workman's comp, motor vehicle accident, personal injury, criminal law concerns. He is the guy you want to call. Tell him that the boys at EOP sent you. Al, it's always a pleasure to have you on, man. Any parting words for the people?
One little thing I wanted to add in here. Yes, I was saying not to read the whole thing, but I wasn't actually even talking about this graphic because that's this week's graphic, and I'm going to give a little glimpse into the future. As we mentioned. Yeah, as we mentioned earlier this month, or actually early July, I guess it was, we have joined forces with the Painted Lines. So this is so you can watch it on here on EOP as well as the Painted Lines YouTube as well. We are with them. But here's what next week. This is why I said don't read them all because it could take half a show. This is what you're looking at. These are the kind of moments you're looking at. This is just that's the proposed lineup or the mock lineup. I actually am trying to. Here we go. I load up. This is what actually next week is going to look like. All right, guys. So you are in for content after content after content right here on Edge of Philly Sports, as well as the Painted Lines. And you can check it all out at eopsports.com. But this is it. Like, is it one day you only have two things? Sorry, guys. We'll try harder next time. But other than that, 3, 4 episodes are going on. And guys, do me a favor. I've been saying it for those who've been joining us tonight. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to us on YouTube and the Painted Lines as well, because you'll get all their extra. They do some other stuff too, as well as not just sports. If you're into as they call pop culture and stuff like that, they are your guys as well.
Yeah, and as if you like the direction EOP is heading in, as you said, like and subscribe so we can keep heading in that direction. I've been here; it's coming up on a year now that I've been with EOP, and it has grown considerably in the time that I've been here. It is
Sleep
definitely
is for chumps, Matt. Sleep is for chumps.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, no one ever gets ahead in life if you're sleeping, and then you'll sleep plenty when you're dead. So I've always had that mantra in my life. But no, I've enjoyed it. It's great being part of what we're building here, and I know it comes from a lot of dedication from a lot of people, not just me or you. It's a whole group of people that are working together.
There's a lot of little moving parts. So
yeah,
definitely. And also for all the podcasting, you can get us on all your big podcast outlets: Apple, Google, Spotify. I'll just tell you the post games aren't podcasted, but everything else is. So you're good to go.
Yeah, and we have more post games coming. We're going to be a 4-for-4 post game and a 1-for-4 pre and post. Right? I mean that's a done deal, right?
Yep. We're just getting a schedule together, and hopefully we'll have that out in the next week.
So more coming daily on. Well, so Al, tomorrow another big game. Phillies Mets. Phillies now looking for this series win. And if we're going to get a series win, obviously the pitcher that's on the mound is the guy we want to have there, Zach Wheeler, and he'll be opposed by Chris Bassett. Got to get a win tomorrow, Al. We got to keep the dream alive. I got to keep the divisional hopes alive, and tomorrow will go a long way with that.
Are you saying this is a must win?
I'm going to go there. Yeah, I'm going to say it's a must win. But I've been on that must win kind of train for about a month.
I feel like we've said that like in May.
No, I've been well. That was a different must win. We had to save the season back then, but now it's listen. To me, it's a foregone conclusion. This team is making the playoffs. I don't doubt that at all. There's maybe a 99.9% chance that they do. But I want the division. I want that damn flag. I'm going to beat the Mets and the Braves. I want to put the defending World Series champs in their place, and I just hate the Mets. So I want the division.
Yep, go for it.
All right, folks. Well, until we talk again, which will be tomorrow afternoon. I'm Matty B.
Big Al.
We'll talk to you later. Go Phils.